It wouldn't bother you a bit?
No. I mean, if she's constantly talking about the sex that she's had with other guys, then that would be a little bit strange.
Now, let me ask you this. How do you think it would go over if you were with your girlfriend and you were like, look, the problem is that like Stacy used to really suck my good and you just don't.
What up, though? It's your boy Danye BC2, and today we have a special video with no other Andrew Wilson, and he is going to be debating a guy, and the topic is, should a man prefer a woman with more sexual experience?
Code.
But remember when I asked him, wouldn't you prefer to have a woman who's had sex with other men before? Yes. It's like, yes.
I wouldn't want to date a virgin. That's true.
I know. You want to have
It doesn't follow from that it means ran through, Andrew. You don't.
So he says that he wouldn't want to date a virgin. And I don't agree with that. In terms of date, take serious, I don't agree, because I would rather date, take serious, marry a virgin over a woman that has more sexual partners. But I will say, for a night, I'm trying to go crazy. The more experience for a night, I'll take it. I'll take it. You know what I mean? Listen, I had women that doesn't have that much experience and it didn't go well. And I had girls with experience that went very well. But when we're talking about a night versus a lifetime, it's two big major differences.
You don't.
What is ran through?
False dichotomy.
What is ran through?
Fine, yeah. Then 1,000 people sleeping with 1,000 people. No, probably not.
20.
I have an exact number in my head, Andrew. It's
Well,
not,
then
it's
what do
not
you mean? Why are you saying ran through?
Hold on, because of I'm not saying that it follows that I don't want any woman who's had sex with like an infinite number of men. Okay, it's a balancing act of so many different traits.
Oh,
so
but you want her to be able to have at least as much experience as possible so that she can make the determination you're the bestest, right?
No, not necessarily the bestest. Of course not.
Don't you want your woman to think you're the best?
Wait, if I wanted her to think I was the best, I would just do what you do, which
I
is only
know.
marry
Don't
virgins,
you want?
Which only marry virgins.
Wait,
I don't want
don't
my.
you want your woman
to think.
By the way,
I'm
I didn't say that's
falsely.
what I do.
I'm not saying you. I'm saying
Yeah.
the position. That
Yeah. So tell me,
position that you're advocating.
would you
Andrew.
prefer? Would you prefer that your woman thinks you're the best?
Because I am the best, not because she thinks I'm the best. Because
so then she would need a pretty large comparative sample to make sure that she knew that you were the best, right?
I don't necessarily.
I hate when they do this in debates. They go like they use this wordplay. Like Andrew Wilson, I love him. I think he's a great debater. I think he's very intelligent and he comes up with good points. I like reacting to his stuff, but he be going tit for tat a lot. In this situation, he's doing a lot. We know what the guy in the blue collar shirt is talking about. He's saying that he doesn't want a virgin, but he also doesn't want a girl that's for the streets. He wants a little bit of the in-between. That's what he's trying to state. And I will say the only way to get that for him, best case scenario, would be finding a girl that had a long-term relationship. That way it was with one partner. She wasn't around. And you can have as much experience as you want with one partner. But yeah, Andrew Wilson he's being a little bit of a, like I said, he's trying to get his point off too, because then he's saying, hey, well, doesn't she got to judge and see if you're the best, if she has to have multiple experiences? But let's see how this plays out.
Necessarily think that is the only criterion here. I don't if I dated a woman and she had better sex with another during the act or something like that,
but
in that way, I think that would be.
What if she
weird.
was like, can you just do this like John used to? Would you be okay with that?
Andrew, there is a difference.
Would you answer my question? Would you be okay with that?
Not in that language.
Why?
Not in that language.
Why?
Because then
But she is actually asking you that because John did it.
Hold on, because there are different ways of communicating a message. If she was like, because what that does is that's just saying you are inferior. What instead the question could be is, hey, in previous relationships, I really liked it when this guy.
So you
did
want her
this.
to lie to you?
No, I don't want her to lie to me.
Why is she asking you to do this thing though? If she's asking you to do the thing, and in her brain she's asking you because this other guy did it and she really likes it, right?
No, she can tell me that it's another guy.
So can you do this thing that John used to do? I really liked it.
During the act or just in conversation?
In conversations.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was waiting for it. You see my mouth open. I was waiting for it. Oh, no Diddy. No Diddy. But I was waiting for him to say it. His girl can come up to him and say that, I like the way Johnny, my ex, used to do this to me sexually. Man, my girl would be out the door. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? When you with me, I'm the only person that's in your life that you should even be thinking about in that way. That's what I'm saying. Like, once you with me, your past, everything is gone. I don't want to hear about nothing that's been going on back there. I'm sorry. I'm not. Yeah, I'm territorial like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. As soon as I start picturing other people doing stuff to you or what they did to you, man, that's a turn off. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I know myself. I know how I am. I don't do that because now you let me know that he used to hit. Now I gotta go out and kill Johnny. I gotta kill Johnny, and you made me do it. So now, knowing that, just keep your mouth shut. Whatever you did, you know what I'm saying? Keep your mouth shut, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so you wouldn't mind hearing about that?
No.
It wouldn't bother you a bit?
No. I mean, if she's constantly talking about the sex that she's had with other guys, then that would be a little bit strange.
Now, let me ask you this. How do you think it would go over if you were with your girlfriend and you were like, look, the problem is that like Stacy used to really suck my good and you just don't. And so what you need to do is get at least 2 more inches of yaw down your throat.
Okay.
Do you think
that's incredibly crass and crude?
So what you would do instead is lie, right?
I would not lie. I
What would you say?
I would have conversation with her in previous relationships.
But in your head, you really want her to suck like Stacy.
I think you can, but I just don't think you have to say it in such like
but you know
language,
how you
Andrew.
can do it without lying?
Oh, you don't have sex with anyone ever.
Isn't that true?
And be a virgin.
How is that not having sex with anyone ever?
Wait, before you have sex with one person.
So necessarily, if we're talking about
Andrew,
exactly.
That's a really uncharitable.
It was totally charitable.
He has a point, but I want to have a hard question for you guys. Let me stop the video for a second. Hard question. And he's right. Let's say you had a top 5. For my men out there, we all know a top 5 eater. Top 5. She was going crazy. And now you got with a girl and she it's your girl, but she's scratching, you know what I mean? She ain't doing the thing. Like, come on, go crazy. Y'all know what I mean. What is she not like that in that aspect? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Y'all going back to top 5? Or are you gonna work it through? That's a question for y'all. I just wanted to throw that out there. I ain't giving y'all an answer. You know what I'm saying? I ain't giving y'all an answer. But just food for thought. I had to bring it up.
Well, you were obfuscating.
No, I was not obfuscating.
You were obfuscating. So the question is, right? Why would you not prefer, if it led to more happiness for your woman, she was actually objectively happier, right? And you were objectively happier. Why would you prefer to have a higher sample size to compare yourself against if it led to like these worser outcomes in relationships?
What do you mean worser outcomes? What would the worser outcomes
They're less happy. Less happy because they are making comparisons to other people where those comparisons don't need to be made.
I think there's a balancing act between the truth and happiness. Do you think people like live? I mean, this is a really interesting way to put it. Do you think like living in like bliss where you don't know reality but are really happy is preferable to being less happy but being in tune with reality?
No, I think actually this goes to my point, not yours, right? So I think that you don't need to do heroin. I think you don't need to do heroin to ever make a comparison, right, between like beer and heroin. I like beer. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep drinking it.
Sure.
I'm not going to do heroin though.
But isn't heroin different than beer?
Could be.
Isn't heroin different than beer?
But hang on. But isn't Chad different than you?
It's sex, Andrew.
And sex is very different with people, isn't it?
Sure, it can be.
Yeah, great. So the thing is, it's like, so I have a beer, right? Heroin could be fucking amazing. It could be fucking like the shit. So it could be black tar, like laced with some fucking insane shit. I could feel like I'm on cloud 9.
The shit.
But I'm not going to do it, right?
Sure.
And I still like beer.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not going to like, why do I need to have the comparison to know what I'm missing here?
So what I what I think is going on here with that is there are a lot of negative outcomes associated with heroin. You would say there's a lot of negative outcomes with promiscuity. Wait a second. Do you want me to let me? Do you want me?
Right.
That was a bad analogy there, but I understand what he's saying. He's saying that, let's say you're in a good relationship and you just stay with your partner, and that's the only thing you know. You met him, you were a virgin when you met him, and you ain't never got any other experience with no other man. You haven't slept with no other man. You haven't been with no other type of man for real. Do you have to basically? Should you have to still go and mess with other people? If you do go and mess with other people, is it a bad thing to not have that experience to begin with? That's what I'm saying. It's a little. I understand what he's saying though. Like the unknown, basically, the unknown is better in many situations. You don't gotta go and do it to be happy. There we go. You don't have to actually go and date multiple men, date a lot of men, have a lot of sexual experiences to be happy. You can have one sexual experience and stay happy. So that's basically what he's trying to get off. I understand it, but the beer and the heroin, he did a lot with that. He even made me a little confused.
Go ahead,
do you want to let me finish what I was saying before you say that? You're going to say that the comparison is there's a lot of negative outcomes to promiscuity.
Yeah.
What I would say is I don't think those outcomes are necessarily related to the sex that the people are having. I think it's a lack of communication. I think it's largely can be a lack of consent.
Then why is it?
I think it could be because you.
Then why are virgins reporting happier sex lives, dude?
They're reporting happier sex lives. I don't because they prefer that
because they don't have a comparison.
Hold on. But you are
because they have no comparison. It's so simple, and it's like, do I need to compare heroin with beer to like beer to have like this ongoing long-term relationship and be very happy with beer? I never need to take heroin. Why is this?
Why would you ever try another beer?
Why is there necessary preconditions here? Right. Well, here's the thing. Right. You're
satisfied with that beer, right?
Yeah, I would say that sex for a woman with like a 6'6" man, right, versus a sex with a woman with like, I don't know, a 4 foot fucking tall pygmy dude, right, is going to be so fucking different on scale. It's going to be more akin to like this and something like heroin than it would be between light beer and heavy beer, dude.
I don't think. I mean, we're completely going out on a limb here. I don't think it at all.
Yeah. That was crazy. What? 6'6" and sleeping with a 6'6" to a 4 foot something is night and day. I don't even want to think about something like that, to be honest with you.
Necessarily entails that someone who's taller is going to be better at having sex. There's
no. It's the idea of attraction level, the idea of well, I mean, there's all sorts of massive factors which would go into this. So, but I do think that it is the case, right?
I ain't gonna lie, this ain't one of the better arguments that we got from Andrew Wilson and his component, because they're all over the place. I'm talking about heroin, they're talking about beer, they're talking about virgins, they're talking about 6'6", 4 foot. Like I said, it's a lot going on in this video, but we get the gist. Personally, me, for long term, to death do us part, give me a virgin every day, any day of the week. All she'll know is me. You know what I'm saying? All I'll know is her. Yeah, I mean, if we're together, all I know is her. We get to mold each other, get to build, get to grow. I don't have to have any worries about her having any past trauma with men, because that's a big thing too. Listen, women, the more people that you stay with, the more trauma you start having, the more problems you start having. You start not trusting this and that, and oh, this is what happened to me in my last relationship. With a virgin, you shouldn't be getting none of that if they're not out here dating still, because virgins can date. But y'all get the gist. Hit that like and subscribe button, and before y'all leave, y'all still watching, go to your fridge right now, right? Go take 2 eggs, put it in a pan, and do like Michael Jackson and beat it, man. Because I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace.